It's time to Get Your Geek On with Dave Gramillion.
Ah, yes. Here we are. We are ready to get our geek on. I am Dave Gramillion. Welcome here, welcome here, welcome here. This is the show, the only AM talk radio show in all of the United States of America, where we will talk Star Trek, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, video gaming, Power Rangers, dare I say it? Really, all things geek that have dominated this little world of ours. See, geek is not what it was 20 or 30 years ago. Geek is now in. It is very much in. It is
Sorry, what was that last show
mainstream.
that you mentioned?
Oh, what? Are you referring to the Power Rangers?
Go, go, Power Rangers!
Geek is now mainstream, and we are here to talk the latest and greatest that is geek right here on 9:30 a.m. and 930amtheanswer.com. This is episode number 18. I guess you could say this is the one where we come of age. This show can now legally vote, which, just in time. That works out nicely. We can be drafted, which is awesome.
You think we'd be more mature after 18 episodes?
Yeah, I think we've actually regressed on the maturity.
Very
part
much.
there.
I blame Peter.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I blame me too.
And tonight it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to have with us a very special guest, the Pink Power Ranger, the guitar-playing gymnast, the one, the only Amy Jo Johnson will be joining us here. Sadly, not in studio, but she'll be calling in ahead of the Alamo City Comic-Con.
Yay!
Yeah,
You can see her there.
Amazingly enough, she did not come in, like 2 weeks ahead of time just to hang out with us.
She could have stayed at my place.
And now it gets awkward. Okay, that's all of what, 38? Are we 38 seconds in when it gets awkward? Is that about
2 minutes? We're 2 minutes in.
2 minutes
minutes
in?
in.
and when
2 minutes in.
when it gets
20
awkward. Thank
seconds.
you.
But
about
normally
that.
it's Peter that makes it awkward. So
Yeah, I think it's because it's Amy Jo.
That's right.
That's what it is. We also have some Marvel news that we're going to be talking about. Somebody's not going to be in Infinity War. And
is it me? Am I not going to be in Infinity War?
Okay, some Marvel character
Oh, okay.
is not going to be in Infinity War. We're going to talk about that. We have some Captain Marvel news to talk about as well. And some big Star Wars news that we're going to discuss, including the Rogue One trailer that dropped today. None of us have seen the trailer yet.
I was threatened with my job.
I put the ban, I dropped the hammer. I said, you will absolutely not watch the trailer
He threw down Milner.
because we are going to watch it all together. Meow, meow?
Milner.
Meow, meow.
Yeah, him, the Thor.
Hey,
The
Kat
hammer.
Denning said it's meow, meow, so
Meow,
I'm
meow.
going to go with that.
I'll go with Kat Denning's
All right,
suggestion.
so this is it. We're going to watch it. We'll have a reaction video from what I've heard, it's really, really good, so I'm sure our jaws will be dropping it at multiple points.
Now, that's going to be in the second half of the show, and we're going to include the very link that we're watching. So, yeah, it will include that on the Facebook chat.
Yep, so y'all get to watch it with us. That'll be in the second half coming up. We'll have Amy Jo Johnson here momentarily in the first half. First, let me make sure. I'm getting all nervous now. Ooh, I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, oh, man, we're getting close. So I got to make sure I have everything I need to run a successful show. The first thing is you got to have something to drink. I mean, that's, talk for an hour, your throat gets dry.
Non-alcoholic, something to drink.
Yes, a certainly.
That comes
ratcheted
after
down
the show.
beverage.
Not at midnight on a Saturday.
Got to
in
make sure I
Texas,
have
it doesn't.
got to make sure I have a back scratcher also because you got to have one of these just to make sure you get that one spot you can never get without the aid of a back scratcher. And of course, if you're going to do a geeky show, any geeky show, anywhere, anytime, anyway, I think it's absolutely required. You got to have a lightsaber. This is old blue. It's been with me for a number of years now. Paint's fading, dings and scratches, but
Do you remember the fourth thing we added last week?
yes. As a
I
matter
did
of fact,
laundry just because of that
okay.
today.
All right. And the fourth thing is, if you're going to listen to the show, if you're going to watch us here on Facebook at facebook.com/GYGO official, wait to the people. Hi. You got to make sure that you're wearing something geeky as well. So we have Goose. You're wearing. You were sporting a Vera Wang DC kind of Super Friends thing going on there. We have. He's representing Marvel. That's nice. I swear we didn't make this up. This is. It's not like we coordinated a wardrobe, and I went dark.
Actually, I think
going with Vader.
This is based on Jose Luis Garcia Lopez art.
It's entirely possible. Now that I look at it a little closer, it's entirely possible. Okay, all right. So we have everything we need. I want to also give a special shout out to a certain collaboration of people that may or may not be listening at this particular point.
The mob doesn't exist.
I'm just saying, you know who you are. You're probably laughing right now because you know who you are, and so I just want to give a little shout out to those people that hope you're listening to us right now. All right, so that covers the checklist. We are good to go. We are solid. Everything's solid. We're good. I think we're ready. We got to take deep breaths. Amy Jo could be here at any time now.
So I would say let's go, and just knowing that we are going to dump whatever you're doing and go to her when she calls.
Yeah, we can probably do that.
Okay.
What do you think? It's a good idea there.
Yeah.
Just so that we're not stammering like 12-year-old blithering idiots.
By the way, I know we talked before about who gets to intro her.
Yeah.
I won. Yay. And I was smart enough to record it on Wednesday just so we didn't run into this problem.
So you didn't get tongue-tied?
Exactly.
Make a
Goose
fool of
is
yourself?
the man.
You recorded a separate intro. You came in on your own time.
Yes.
And recorded an intro
yes.
just for Amy Jo.
I did.
Wow. Yeah, we need some likes, some thumbs up for that, because that's actually pretty hardcore.
It is.
It almost makes me respect you a little more.
Almost
Almost there.
I'm sorry, who's doing the music for Rogue One again? And what did he do before?
I'm grabbing my lightsaber, man. That's it.
I'm hitting the deck.
Got my lightsaber right here. I'm gonna about ready to. Okay. All right. Yes. So we had a little
I
debate.
push buttons of all kinds.
We had a little debate and discussion about who was going to introduce Amy Jo Johnson, and Goose won that one. Team Goose pulled that one out. So when she does call in, we'll let him introduce her. Fine. I get Jeremy Bullock when he comes in next week.
You can.
Speaking of which, Jeremy Bullock will be here next week. The
right.
Boba Fett will be our guest next week.
He
as
found
well.
his way out of the Sarlacc Pit.
Absolutely, he did, and he will be here next week. Again, not in studio, but that's okay. It's kind of hard for because he's British. He has to come all the way from the UK to do that. That's kind of troubling. I'm also
He's got a
chasing down.
jetpack.
I do want to say I'm chasing down a couple of other guests. I don't want to say who they are, but I want to keep the guest train rolling.
I'm sorry, didn't the restraining order tell you to stop that?
Yeah, but you see, it didn't specify in the manner of which I do it. So instead of throwing rocks at people's windows until they wake up and come talk to me, I just email now. It turns out email is actually a little bit more efficient, so I'm going to use that instead.
Okay. It maintains the 500-foot rule.
Also, I want to mention, if you're listening to us on the Facebook feed, thank you very much. But don't forget to check out our podcast, because our podcast at 930amtheanswer.com is going to have all of our guest interviews. It's going to have all of our previous shows. It's going to have all of our announcements. It's going to have everything. The podcast records forever and ever and ever, going all the way back to show number 1. I think the bat phone is ringing there. Is the red phone? Red phone. It actually is a red phone. That's kind of the funny part.
Yes.
But instead of a direct line to Moscow, do we have a direct line to
We
Amy
do.
Jo? Woo! Okay.
So here we go. I'm going to introduce her, then I'm going to bring her online. You might know our next guest from the USA Network hit Covert Affairs, or as her role as police sniper Jules Callahan in the police drama Flashpoint. You may remember her from The Division, Wildfire, or even alongside Kerry Russell in the WB hit Felicity. But for geeks worldwide, she first found her way onto our screens and into our hearts as her portrayal of Kimberly Hart, the original Pink Ranger in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Get Your Geek On is proud to bring you tonight, coming to Alamo City Comic-Con October 29th and 30th, the writer, director, and star of the upcoming film The Space Between, Amy Jo Johnson.
Amy Jo, thank you
Wow.
so much for taking the time out to be with us here.
Thanks. What an introduction that was.
I don't know if you got to hear our little pre-show there, but Goose, who introduced you there, actually came in on his own time to record that because he was worried he'd get a little tongue-tied talking to you.
Ah, that's so sweet. That's funny. No, that was very, very nice. That was great. Thanks.
Now, Amy Jo, hello. Welcome to the show. Glad to be hearing from you.
Thank you.
You will be in San Antonio in about 2 weeks' time to be here for the Alamo City Comic-Con, one of the largest Comic-Cons that has ever been developed in the history of man ever. I'm pretty sure we're outdoing the Romans and Carthaginians at this point, so that's good. But I've also heard...
It looks like it's huge. It looks huge, the Comic-Con. I was checking it out online.
Yeah, they're going to expect like 90,000 people for this thing at minimum.
And that's just for you, Amy Jo.
Holy... Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely. Your line is going to be wrapped... I think your line's going to go back to Seguin. I think that's where her line starts.
Well, let's... Oh, my God. Anyway, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say that a little birdie also told me that this is your first trip to the Alamo City, the 7th largest city in the country. And I got to know, is there anything that you're just dying to see? I mean, we have our own suggestions, but is there anything in particular you've heard about?
No, please go ahead and suggest,
Okay.
because I have really no idea what to expect. I've been to Texas maybe twice. I drove cross country when I was 19 years old on my way out to Los Angeles, and I made a pit stop in Dallas. And then I did a little movie out in Monterrey, Mexico, which isn't too far from the border there, right?
About 4 hours from the border, I think.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have all sorts of suggestions for you.
Anyway, what should I do?
Okay, well,
Yeah,
the
I would
obvious
love
is the Riverwalk and the Alamo, and that's the big tourist traps everybody wants to go to.
Oh, yeah. How far is that?
Right across the street. Basically.
Literally,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
The
Well,
Riverwalk
that's
kind of
all right.
winds its way through downtown, so it's like what is it? What do they extend it to now? Like it's a 5-mile stretch of
Going all the way to the south side.
of drinking
Yeah.
establishments and clubs.
Restaurants.
Nice.
jazz
I'll be doing
bars.
that Friday then, for sure, because I think I only work on Saturday and Sunday, and I get in on Friday.
Excellent.
I'm hitting what do I call it again?
The
What am I doing?
Riverwalk. The Riverwalk.
I'm hitting the Riverwalk.
Now, my personal suggestion, because that's the obvious stuff. Everybody goes to see those. My personal suggestion is to go to Mi Tierra. If you're going to have some real Southwest Tex-Mex food, you want to go to Mi Tierra, which is still downtown, but they also have live mariachi music every Friday night.
Oh, that's nice. Here, I'm going to write that down. What's it called?
Mi tierra.
M-I,
Mi tierra.
and then
Okay.
space, and then you spell the rest.
Yeah.
Okay. Mi T-E-R-R-A.
Got it. All right, cool. Thanks for the tips, guys.
And I love it. I
Open
love it when
24 hours.
I love it when Peter says it because he has the Latino accent and I don't. So go ahead and say
Mi
it, Peter.
tierra.
Mi tierra.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Open
Oh, mi
24
tierra.
hours. Yes, that's it. There you go.
Now I understand,
Muy
Goose.
bien.
Goose, you have personally volunteered to give her a tour. Now, where were you
Yes.
going to?
Well, I did actually. You were actually my first age-appropriate crush, so it's good.
Oh, I don't even want to know what that means, but okay.
I was 15 when Power Rangers came on, so
Oh, okay. Oh, you were too old to watch it.
yes, that's what everybody told me. Yes, that's true. But there's the Tower of the Americas, which is right by the convention center. There's also a Spurs game that night, Spurs and the Pelicans at the AT&T Center. So depending upon how your
right.
schedule allows it, if you like basketball, there's that.
Yeah, I mean, I like basketball, but I'm not going to be hitting the game.
All right.
I'm going to be river walking it.
Yes, definitely be river walking it. Peter, do you have a suggestion for her?
I do ghost tours.
Yes. If you're into haunted stuff, Peter actually does ghost tours.
Ooh, that could be fun right before Halloween too. Oh my goodness, that
it
could
would
be scary.
It'd be plenty spooky. Plenty spooky.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's hop in the Wayback Machine here and go back to where it all started. How did you land the part of Kimberly Hart in the Power Rangers series?
Well, when I was 19 or 20, I drove cross-country to Los Angeles, to Hollywood, and then I spent about 6 months sort of taking classes, and one class I took was with this woman named Katie Wallens, and she happened to be a casting director as well. And so that summer, she was casting the Power Rangers, and I just went into the audition and went through the process of auditioning. I was a gymnast, which clearly was why and how I got the part, because I had no idea how to act yet.
Could have fooled me.
And yeah. Oh, well, thanks. Thanks a lot. No, I learned a lot doing the Power Rangers. It was my first acting job I ever had. So,
it's quite the debut when you think about it. I mean, some people
I know,
they have
who
those-
knew?
they have those
Who
little bit
knew?
parts on like Days of Our Lives or something, but you come on the scene as the Pink Power Ranger.
I know, but nobody knew the show was even going to be popular. It was Dino Rangers when we did the pilot, and then it changed, and then by the following summer when it aired in that September, it was crazy. We were like, oh my God, and it was still non-union, and we had no idea it was going to be such a big hit.
Now, speaking of the Power Rangers, they're kind of doing a remake, reboot, sequel, soft reboot, whatever you want to call it, to the Power Rangers. Have you seen the trailer?
I have seen the trailer. I think it looks fantastic. I'm super excited about it.
I've seen it too, and man, I watched it probably like 5 or 6 times because
Right?
it just seems so intense.
I know. I loved it. I mean, I think there's mixed reactions to it, but personally, I was like, oh, I want to see this. This looks awesome.
As soon as I saw
really
Elizabeth,
fun. I'm going to take my daughter.
When I saw Elizabeth Banks was in it, I was like, oh, I'm sold. I'm there.
Yeah. And that part in the trailer when she's like on top of her on the bed, like, I think it looks really cool.
I've killed rangers before, and I'm just like, okay, creepy.
I know, and the music, I know, it's so exciting.
Now, are you? You said you were excited for the film. When you first learned about it, I mean, did you have any kind of misgivings about them trotting on this territory? I know remakes are all the rage nowadays, but I mean, come on.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't really think too much about it besides the fact that, this seems like, sure, why not? I mean, they remake everything, right?
That's true.
Why not this? And for me personally, it's pretty cool to have done something that is worth remaking. That's like, oh, wow, I was a part of that 20 years ago. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really. I think I read a stat somewhere that it was something like 91% of all movies made in the last 3 to 5 years are either remakes, reboots, or sequels.
Like, well, see, that's why I do little indie films. That aren't.
You just said
the space between. What?
I'm sorry. You just said
did your Alpha 5 impression.
Yeah, you did the Alpha 5.
I went. Well, I don't go. I went. Oh, I did go, Oh, I did. Oh, my God. I have like an inner alpha.
It's rubbing. The show is crazy. 20 years later, the show's rubbing off on you. I love it.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so, you were talking about all these reboots and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But, so I just started filmmaking, and I've done 3 short films, and I've done my first feature film called The Space Between, which are in festivals right now, which is not a remake or a reboot of anything besides my own little imagination.
Yeah, and this film, you're in the director's chair now. So,
which I love. I love it.
How is that different from being in front of the camera as opposed to now behind the camera?
Somebody asked me that question the other day, and I realized as being an actor for 20 years, I found I was a very insecure person. I don't know, acting just made me very insecure, and for some reason, as I've sort of, gone on to become a filmmaker and direct, I feel much more confident as a director.
And what festival?
And I don't know exactly why, but I love it so much, and I just feel like I'm really comfortable in my skin directing more than I was as an actress.
That's outstanding. I love that. It's like you found your niche now.
I did. I really did. I love it so much. So we're doing festivals. October 20th, we're the opening film festival in Carmel, California, which is pretty cool. And then we're at Whistler, and we were just at Sudbury. We had our world premiere in Shanghai, which was quite very interesting and fun.
Wow. And
and so probably by next summer we'll be releasing the movie on VOD, so you can find it online. But if anybody's interested, we have a website called thespacebetweenfeaturefilm.com. And so we'll put all the information on there. And we're actually releasing the awesome indie soundtrack next week.
Nice.
Online.
Yeah, that was me my next question, because a good movie's got to have a great soundtrack. Who's doing the soundtrack?
It has the best soundtrack. It's so good. Right before I filmed, I tweeted out there I said, indie artists, send me your heartfelt indie songs. I'm looking for songs for the soundtrack, and I got so many amazing songs. So we just had all this music to pick from and choose from as we were going through the editing process. So we have 16 songs on the soundtrack, and they're all indie musicians. If you go onto the website, thespacebetweenfeaturefilm.com, there's a soundtrack page, and you can sort of see all the different musicians and the songs that are on the soundtrack.
And for anyone listening, we're going to put that link also on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO official, so you can go directly there. You can learn more about the film, about this really awesome soundtrack, and the premiere and the festivals and everything else that's going on. That is fantastic news.
Awesome. Thank you.
World premiere in Shanghai. Ooh, that's cool. Now, here's the fun question. Because we've been serious up until now, of course, but now this is the fun one. If you could go, you could go back to 1992, and you could tell yourself one thing besides buy stock in Apple or something like that. You go back in time.
Oh my God! I didn't even think about that. That would be. I should. Oh man, all kinds of things you could kind of say.
And no fair buying Google when it's only $3 a share. But what would you tell yourself?
I think I would tell myself to not stress out so much and relax a bit more. Be as driven as I was, but to just chill out a bit more. I think I was very stressed through my 20s and my 30s trying to figure out what I wanted to do and where I'm going and blah, 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 blah. And looking back, I think if I just had a little more faith and was just a little more relaxed about it, I could have enjoyed the ride a little bit more.
I think we could all, that's looking back, a lot of us could take that advice and be like, man, you got to stop stressing. I mean, even now,
when you
just
hit
stop
your
stressing.
40s, I hit my 40s, I just realized, it's really, I can just, nothing's that important, unless it's a life or death situation or something. But all this stress, we got so much stress. It just means nothing, really, ultimately.
Well, I think we can definitely help you bleed off that stress at Meet the Era and on the Riverwalk, too. When you head down at the end of October, Amy Jo Johnson will be in San Antonio for the Alamo City Comic-Con. Want to thank you for taking the time out to talk to the fans here. This is really fantastic. Where can people find you? Do you have a social media page that people can follow you on?
Oh, yeah, I have a Twitter, which is, I think, _ Amy Jo Johnson. And then I have a Facebook page, which I believe is A to the double J.
A to the double J.
And then my Instagram page is A to the double J as well.
So you're keeping it real. That's good.
Yeah, A to the double J, guys. That's me.
Word up, yo. I love it.
Word.
Okay. All right, Amy Jo, I can't wait to see you. We'll have to shake hands when you head down this way. Thanks very much for taking the time out and speaking to us here on Get Your Geek On 9:30 a.m. The Answer and 930amtheanswer.com.
Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Power Ranger, coming to talk to us about the Alamo City Comic-Con, her time now that she's in her 40s. I don't think she's in her 40s. I think she's celebrating the anniversary of her 29th birthday. I don't think a woman like that ever gets beyond that point in her life. It just doesn't happen. There's no way. All right, so second half of the show. Let's see what's coming up here. We got some Marvel news I want to get to quickly, and then, of course, we're going to have a lot of fun in the second half. For anyone watching us on Facebook Live,
we had a lot of fun in the first half.
Well, yeah, that's true, too. But the fun continues into the second half. We're going to watch the Rogue One trailer. Not one of us has seen the trailer yet. I've heard good things about it, but I mostly stuck my fingers in my ears and went, la, 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 I'm not listening.
I actually did work today, so to avoid it.
To avoid it. Wow, man, the sacrifices you got to make.
Yeah, I know.
It's incredible. But we'll watch
Way to
that.
not get fired.
We will do a live reaction via Facebook, facebook.com/GYGOofficial. And for those of y'all listening to the podcast, it'll be live to us, so it'll still.
And those of
live.
you listening Saturday nights as well, we'll make sure to give you the name of the page where we find it, as well as post a link on our Facebook, so that way everybody can watch it with us for the first time.
Absolutely. And I might go on a little bit of a rant in the second half, too, because this clickbait stuff is getting out of control. There's a terribly misleading headline that is being thrown all over social media. It's driving me up the wall. And it's about this stupid Obi-Wan movie thing that apparently Ewan McGregor said that there will be 2 Obi-Wan movies. And everyone's flipping out about it. And then I read the article. Yeah, we'll talk about that there in the second half. So, all right, so make sure you stick with us. Amy Jo Johnson, man.
That was awesome.
Oh, how cool was that? People in the chat, don't think for a minute that I wasn't, reading the chat.
However, Dave had his own approved list of questions.
Yes, and I certainly wasn't going to read some of the ones in the chat. My goodness, that was gracious.
You people are inappropriate.
or at least, not well. They're close to being as inappropriate as Goose is.
I wasn't inappropriate at all. I was just being truthful.
You were a gentleman in every respect of the word, and
was there anything inappropriate about that intro? No, there wasn't.
No, there was not.
There was nothing but praise in that.
You nailed the intro. Absolutely nailed it. So, we're gonna get the link to her website up on our Facebook page, and we already know where to find her on Twitter A to the double J.
No,
That is
on
too
Twitter
cool.
it's at _ Amy Jo Johnson, and then on Facebook it's A to the double J.
A to the double J. That is just too cool. All right, so we'll be back up here after the break. Don't forget to catch us at 930amtheanswer.com if you're streaming us live. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We are back here from the bottom of the hour break. If you missed the first half, wow, you missed one hell of an interview there with Amy Jo Johnson, who played Kimberly Hart, the Pink Power Ranger. Fantastic interview. She'll be in San Antonio for the Alamo City Comic-Con. You can find that on our podcast at 930amtheanswer.com, along with all other guest interviews, all other shows, more Goose, less Peter. It's all right there. You got it.
I think that's a combination for a great show.
Not on my part. You mean?
All right, so
yeah, I got a vacuum later after y'all leave. Okay,
so
no
coming
problem.
up here, we're going to do a Star Wars Rogue One trailer reaction because not one of us here have seen the trailer, not yet.
So the trailer, just so everybody listen on the radio and all the podcast knows, it is on the Star Wars YouTube channel. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, trailer number 2, official.
Numero dos.
So we can give you some time to get to that.
All right, so, but first, while we give people time to get acclimated, to find the trailer, and to get settled, while we do that, let's talk about a little Marvel news that's come out here, shall we?
This is that sequel to the smash hit with no equal. This one's for the true fans with Hulk hands and action figures. Flying, dining, saving you all in the city. Got mass sound and
Alrighty, so Captain Marvel is going to be Marvel's first. That's kind of funny to say Captain Marvel is Marvel's, but it is. It's Marvel's first superhero movie, comic book hero movie, where a woman takes the lead. It only took them 10 years to crank it out, ladies and gentlemen, so good on them. And it's reported that it's actually going to be an origin story. Now, back in August, it was reported that the screenwriter, who is Nicole Perlman, was trying to avoid doing an origin story for the Brie Larson starring film, specifically pointing out that the character's origin was way too similar to what was seen in the Green Lantern movie. And we all remember how that movie turned out.
I decided never to see that movie.
I haven't seen it, and it just, I mean, if it's bad enough to where it's being made fun of in Deadpool by Ryan Reynolds, then yeah, you know it's bad. Perlman also suggested that it made more sense to establish Captain Marvel's place in the world than it did to actually delve into how she got her powers. But now Marvel is backtracking and saying, yeah, we're going to need an origin story. Kevin Feige, the guru of Marvel, has said it will certainly be an origin story from the start, and that's probably because there's a bit of confusion among comic book fans as to what her origin story is. And for people who don't know her at all, it probably helps to have an origin story. I mean, with Batman,
Everybody knows.
yeah, I'm really glad Batman Superman had another origin story. That was fantastic because nobody knew that Bruce Wayne was had his parents shot and killed.
That was the third one. The third origin story.
The third origin story? Well, it's Batman Begins.
No, Batman.
Batman Begins.
And Batman versus Superman.
Didn't they have a...
Well, throughout all the other movies, there was
flashbacks and references and that sort of
yeah.
thing. So we really needed that Batman Superman, but we need it for Captain Marvel, and here's why. In the late 60s, she debuted as a regular Air Force pilot named Carol Danvers. In the 70s, her DNA was fused with that of an alien superhero named Marvel. Marvel.
The original Captain Marvel of the Marvel Universe.
Better known as the first Captain Marvel. This gave her various superpowers, and she eventually became Ms. Marvel. She kept the name for a bit even after Marvel died of cancer, eventually switching to Binary, then Warbird, and now Captain Marvel. So yeah, I would say an origin story is required
To
here.
be fair, some of those years she was in a coma thanks to Rogue.
So yeah, we definitely need an origin story there. There's no question about it. So I'm fine with that. I really am. I know origin stories are they're feeling a little played out, but I think that's because how many Superman movies did we have an origin story? There was the first one. There was
2.
Was it just 2?
Superman and Man of Steel.
Is it only 2?
We're not counting all the TV stuff. So.
Well, no, we're not counting
Superman
Lois and Clark. We're not counting the animated series. We're talking the movies.
And Superman 2 started
Well,
at the same time
that was
Superman 1
flashback,
started.
though.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. So it had to set up the movie. But I think we all know Superman's story. We all know Batman's story. But let's be fair. unless you're into comic books in a big way, you don't know who Captain Marvel is.
And Captain Marvel, at best, is maybe a C level superhero.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. But, I mean...
In fact, since 2008, when they've introduced characters, there's only been one that wasn't an origin story.
One character?
One out of the first movie for that character. Since 2008
right.
forward.
Hang on.
One that wasn't an origin story.
Ant-Man.
No, that was an origin story. Scott Lang.
Well, yeah, but
Scott Lang's origin as Ant-Man, and it even went a bit into Hank's.
A little bit, but not much.
But it was Scott's origin story.
Okay, all right, fine. It's Thor.
No, because that was
we
him
didn't
coming to Earth for the first time.
Yeah, but we didn't see him get Meow Meow for the first time.
No, but we saw him come to Earth
we saw him
for
as
the
a
first
kid
time.
also.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so which one is it?
The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, yeah, I never thought about that one because most Marvel fans try to forget those.
The Incredible Hulk was good.
Which one was that? Was that the
That
one
was
with
the one
Jennifer
with
Connelly?
Edward Norton.
Yeah.
So
that was good.
Oh, that was the one with what's
Ed.
your name from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't know why that slipped my mind.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, that one was okay.
You're talking about the one with Eric Bana. That was horrible.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. Okay, so also what we've learned is that both Captain Marvel and the Wasp are probably not going to be in the Infinity War. Despite having 60, this is confirmed, 60 Marvel characters or 5 times what we saw in Civil War, the number of characters, 5 times as many. They're not going to include Captain Marvel and they're not going to include the Wasp.
They're over their limit at 60. They make 62.
Well, yeah, but how about shoving out some of the guys?
That clown
to make
car
room
can
for
only
more
hold
of the
so
girls?
many.
Oh, okay. Let's not talk clowns. Let's not do that. So that means that let's. I think we can count the number of women that'll be in that movie on one hand. Scarlett Johansson is Black Widow. We'll have Gamora. And we'll have Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. 3 chicks, 57 guys.
I don't know. We may have Nebula.
Okay, well let's. Yeah, we may. All right, so
and we may have the head of the Nova Corps.
Yeah, but not as a serious character.
You didn't say serious.
As one of the 60, though. I mean, they're talking.
She could be one of Glenn Close could be one of the 60.
All right, so then that would be 5 women.
Unless they're bringing over some of the stuff from
like Defenders.
Yeah,
which they might.
Which would be Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
But still,
that's it.
But they're going to kind of, especially as far as the cinematic history goes, they're going to cut out the.
Unless
Wasp
you also have
cut
Agents of Shield, because then you have May and Daisy
Ooh, that would be interesting.
and Jenna Simmons.
But that's assuming that they're all. We don't know. But at this point, we know it's going to be Scarlet Witch. We know it's going to be Black Widow. Yeah. And we know it's going to be Gamora. So we know they're going to be 3 out of the 60 at least will be women, and a whopping 3. No Wasp, that's confirmed, and no Captain Marvel.
Oh, what about...
To be fair, the Captain Marvel movie comes after Infinity War in the first place.
That's also
What
true.
about Agent 13? Do you think they might throw her?
Oh, Sharon Carter?
Yeah.
She may stay on Earth, though.
Hard to tell. I mean, the fight part of the fight may take place on Earth. We don't know.
She's not part of the Avengers.
Well,
okay, so
make a cameo or something.
Maybe.
Evangeline Lilly tells, this is coming from Blaster.com, that she won't see her character in action as the Wasp until the Ant-Man of the Wasp movie comes out in between the Infinity War movies. So, and now we know also that Captain Marvel won't be seen until the Captain Marvel movie, which also comes between those movies as well. Yeah, look, I understand there's some pushback to all this, PC stuff that's going on. Make this character African American when they weren't before. Make this one a chick when they weren't before. Or, we need more of this or we need more of that. I understand.
I hulked out last week.
I understand there's a lot of that going on, but it does kind of make me wonder just a little bit because they're not having a Black Widow movie. Scarlett Johansson came out today and said, "Hey guys, clock's ticking here." On a Black Widow movie. They haven't had that, even though she made her debut in Iron Man 2. We haven't had a Black Widow movie. There's no woman movie at all until 10 years after Iron Man came out. And now they're going to cut out the Wasp and Captain Marvel in the Infinity War movies. I don't want to say Marvel has a problem with women. But
to be fair.
Does Marvel have a problem with women?
To be fair. Because we don't know exactly what's going to happen, because sometimes the origins change. She could get her power because of the Infinity War.
That's also possible. Well,
so in which case, then it wouldn't make sense.
All right. I think we should get to the moment everyone's been waiting for.
Okay. Now I have a question.
Yes.
Since it's Rogue One.
Yes.
Which music do you want to play? The Rogue One music or the Star Wars music?
Let's play the typical. Let's stick with what works here with tradition. Let's talk some Star Wars news here, shall we?
I'm looking forward to completing your training.
In time, you will call me master.
Alrighty, so this is it. By executive decree, under pain and penalty of death, I have forbidden anyone in this room from seeing the Rogue One trailer all day today, despite hearing wonderful things about it. So we have not seen it before, so we are going to watch it now, and we will give y'all a live reaction as we go. This is wonderful radio here at 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. Goose, will you hit it, please?
Hang on, before we do that,
Please, no ad.
just
please.
in case you came in late, it is Rogue One, a Star Wars story, trailer number 2, official. Just want to make sure we get everybody who decided to lollygag
And engage. Make it so. Punch it. You blow that up full screen?
Jin, whatever I do,
Whoa.
I do it to protect you.
I love the backgrounds.
Do you understand?
I understand.
I rebel.
Stop it.
Okay, that
Oh no, that's not
flashback.
Ooh.
I like the music already.
Huh.
Ooh, Star
Oh,
Destroyer.
cool.
Whoa. Whoa.
You want to get out of here?
Oh, they're busting her out.
Our rebellion is all that.
Oh, look at that!
What the heck?
Oh, it was a Jedi statue.
We think you might be able to help us.
When was the last time you were in contact with your father?
What is this?
Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
It appears he is critical to the development of a super
Okay, so
weapon.
Daddy's working for the Empire.
Uh-oh.
Oh! Yeah.
Need to find him.
All right. How many do I need?
I need that guy's left leg.
Call sign. It's
Oh, Rogue One.
Rogue.
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Ah!
there we go.
He
Name
said
drop.
it. Oh, it's Vader.
Power that we are dealing with here.
Oh.
Immeasurable.
Death Star.
Immeasurable.
If
Oh,
the
my
Empire
God.
has this kind of power, what chance do we have?
We don't have a chance at all. Oh, cool.
I haven't seen any Bothans yet.
Shut up.
We have hope. Rebellions are built on hope.
Okay, a little bit.
And so's
Okay,
DC Rebirth.
Oh, okay, cool.
They've no idea we're coming.
That looked like Endor.
Oh.
Take hold of this moment. The force is strong. 10 men feel like 100.
Oh, nifty.
We'll take the next chance.
It looks really, the effects look fantastic. Oh, look at that.
What the?
Oh.
You're rebels, aren't you?
Wow, rebels on. We rebel.
Oh!
Yeah. I think that's it. Yep, that was
Whoa!
it. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Woo!
Man, when Vader's walking that fast toward you, you know you screwed up.
Either that or
Well, you did something incredibly right.
yeah,
Well, I don't think he's going to go running, practically running at him to give him a pat on the back.
or
so.
a high five.
Employee of the month goes to you. Yay! Wow, how cool
That
was
was
that?
cool.
That was awesome.
We need to
very
see that
nice.
again.
That was really well done.
After the show. Watch
Good.
it.
That was
yeah.
some good effects. Some great effects.
It was amazing.
It looks like almost like Saving Private Ryan meets
Star Wars.
That's really cool.
It wasn't in this trailer, but in one trailer I had a question. Who is I Rebel?
That's Ira, but you can throw
I'm
that out.
gonna throw my lightsaber at him. Are you kidding me here? Wow, that was a great trailer.
That was very nice.
It
was great.
it showed us a lot of the movie, but only like the basic premise. Okay, Empire bad, Rebels good, Death Star bad. Get the plans. Get your dad. We get that.
I want to know where the Bothans are.
They
Dude,
died bringing us this YouTube
No,
video.
stop it. Stop it. He's trolling. Stop trolling. Oh, man. Kind of reminds me of another Disney movie. Oh, I'm sorry. Almost a Disney. Well, it is a Disney movie. The Great Mouse Detective.
I love that movie.
They got the dad. They kidnapped the dad. The little girl had to hide. They kidnapped the dad to make him build. It wasn't a weapon. It was the fake queen, but still a mechanical object.
Lucasfilm ripped off the Great Mouse Detective.
Lucasfilm ripped it off. It's a ripoff, I tell you. It's like Lion King
By
and
the way,
Kimba. I mean, God.
A ripoff of The Great Mouse Detective is not a phrase I ever thought I'd ever say.
We coined a new phrase.
We have
Hashtag.
coined a phrase. Hashtag ripoff Great Mouse Detective. Oh, my goodness.
That was great. I mean, I like that it's, just a basic war movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's the nitty-gritty. There are no lightsabers in this one. Well, I mean, there's Darth Vader, but there's no epic duel between a Jedi and a Sith. It's
The way I always saw, the great thing about all the Star Wars movies is that it's so epic that everybody who could be in the background has a potential story. And I think we're finally going to get a chance to see, the Rebellion, Empire, War, minus Jedi Sith stuff that we've seen and was shoved down our throats for so many years.
And in an actual canonical way.
Yeah.
Yes. Canonical?
Whatever. Basically, it's not a cartoon.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And I like that. I wouldn't mind having a Star Wars movie without lightsabers. I'm cool with that. Some people would say that takes away from what is Star Wars, but I say it's bigger than
Based on Amy Jo
lightsabers.
Johnson's definition, we're too old to watch Rebels. I was too old to watch Power Rangers, apparently.
Wow, you're going to diss
No.
A to the double J like
I'm
that?
not dissing her. I'm just applying that same logic to Rebels.
Well, Star Wars is different, though.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
You're
Yes,
outnumbered on this one.
I bet money A to the double J watches Rebels.
I bet hopefully, she's watching our reactions to watching.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great also. Speaking of, you saw those Death Troopers at the beginning when they went to go confront. I guess that's her dad.
The dad,
yeah. The Death Trooper costume is now being slammed by an editorial at invest.com. Get this. They're saying, quote, Disney itself is selling a costume for a child to pretend they are mindless killing machines.
Stormtroopers.
Yeah, actually, they said that at least, they addressed that, actually. At least Stormtroopers were given a weird backstory of being clones. Well, that's when I just wanted to, rip into the monitor and grab the person and choke them, because Stormtroopers are not clones.
No.
They're not. They're conscripts. By the time A New Hope rolls around, they're conscripts. They're not clones.
All the clone DNA is gone.
Yeah, because they grow and age at twice the normal rate. So by the time A New Hope rolls around,
they're all dead.
They're
did the clone factory at Calamino just?
Yeah, they shut down. That's canon. They shut down the one in Camino after the Empire didn't need it anymore. Too expensive. It's cheaper to get conscripts anyway than to grow your own. They said that these aren't characters like Darth Vader, which is, it's cutesy because, little kid Darth Vader. But they say, get this, they say they're pretty obvious stand-ins for Nazi SS soldiers.
Well, the funny thing was the Empire is loosely based on the Third Reich and the Nazis. I mean,
A New Hope was like World War II in space.
Right.
But this is my favorite part, though, is that they also called Kylo Ren a modern-day school shooter. Being dark and emo and goth. Are you kidding me?
He did kind of,
I kind of agree with that.
It gets me right here.
Yeah.
Being a Han Solo costume, that part just always gets me.
You get you right in the heart, does it?
Oh, yeah, God.
And out to the back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, this is the same website that published another article. It was, the headline was, this is the headline. I copy and paste this word for word, so I didn't want to, paraphrase or anything. Obi-Wan's adventures could fill 2 new Star Wars movies. So naturally, I'm like...
So David, you're wondering if 2 more Star Wars movies are in the books for Obi-Wan. For Obi-Wan could have 2 movies. Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. So I click on it because I want to read about 2 new Star Wars movies. Yeah, here's the actual quote. They got this from Ewan McGregor, the actor who played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars prequels. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, he was the best actor in the prequels. He was.
Yes.
He was.
He carried that trilogy.
He did a great job. That I was fine with. His actual quote. This is the quote. You ready for this?
Yeah.
You might want to put duct tape around your head
Dave,
so it doesn't explode.
Bring the quote on, sir.
Here it comes. Quote, "It would be fun to film that story now that I'm older. I'd be the right age. I'm 45 and Alec Guinness was what, 60? I could do 2 of them."
I would watch those movies.
Yeah, but that's how they got Obi-Wan's adventures could fill 2 new Star Wars movies. They got that from him saying that, I'm young enough to do 2 more movies.
Peter, what did you think about that?
Are you kidding me?
I think he could do it. I mean, he's a great actor. I mean, I'd like to be able to see, what was Obi-Wan doing during that whole time besides sitting around and just sitting and watching Jawas and
Okay, you don't
stuff.
really want to know because it's kind of creepy when you think about it.
Well, I know he was watching Luke from
I realize
afar.
he was like your example, but...
Okay, but still, there's got to be something he had to do besides just sit around and just sit and meditate. And
Now,
I like to see what Obi-Wan was doing.
Now here's the best part is that you can the same article that now says that there are 2 new Star Wars movies. Oh, Ewan McGregor said that he's young enough to do 2 more. Yeah, it also says, quote, "There are no plans. No one has approached me." Thanks, article. That's fantastic. So we went from 2 new Star Wars movies about Obi-Wan Kenobi to Ewan McGregor saying I'm young enough to where I could do 2 more to no one has approached me. There are no plans. Click freaking bait.
Now,
I hate
David,
clickbait.
I have a question for you.
I hate it.
Where could one find news that is not based on clickbait?
That's right. If you want news that is not based on clickbait, if you want actual legit news that's updated 24 hours a day, you go to mygeeksnews.com. Mygeeksnews.com is a trusted site with trusted sources, trusted news articles. You will not find clickbait at mygeeksnews.com. Promise. Guaranteed. Boom. Done. Nailed it. Also, speaking of boom, done, nailed it. Not that there's any awesome segue there, but I want to take a minute to talk about Laser Legend.
Woo! Pew, pew,
Laser
pew.
Legend.
Honestly, I saw the video you did there. I was glad you came in to do this show.
You got out of there alive.
It was a little spooky there. What they've done at Laser Legend is it's an indoor miniature golf / 2-story laser tag / awesome get video arcade type of place. And what they've done is they've introduced a new laser tag game. Mm-hmm. And this is really cool. It's called Infection. This is for the Halloween season. Normally, when you play laser tag, everyone's vests have lights on the shoulders, the front, and the back. Standard. What they do now is they turn off everybody's lights except for one person, and that person is infected. They are zombies. They are a zombie. And it is their job. When they shoot someone, their vest will then light up, and now you're infected. Ooh. And you go around and shoot other people. And then they become infected. And so on and so forth. And the last person standing wins the game. But that's not all. They've also taken out, they have 4 banks of these black lights up there. Mm-hmm. They've shut half of them off.
Oh, that's creepy.
And then they have this wonderful speaker system, and it's filled with these creepy sound effects, these screams, footprints, or footsteps, some creepy music and other sound effects are going on. I mean, I was in there. And, man, it was creepy. It was fantastic. I love it. What a great idea.
All right, so that's Laser Legend at 1604 on Lookout Road. Find them online at laserlegend.com. And I did tease last week that they do some stuff really cool for our military and their families. We'll talk about that next week. Again, that's Laser Legend, laserlegend.com.
Okay, so that covers that little bit here.
All right, we need to take a trip.
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, we need to go to everyone's favorite segment, and that is the Sarlacc Pit.
What's going on? We just got to the Sarlacc Pit.
What's that?
It's this disgusting, horrible creature that's worse than anything you could ever imagine.
Goose, who you throwing in?
Not you.
For once.
Week. For once, that's nice. Okay.
Because you were kind enough to let me do the introduction for Amy Jo Johnson. So thank you so much. So however, I will throw in this week, let's see. Oh, the people who decided to schedule the presidential debates during Sunday Night Football and a WWE pay-per-view.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, take them and throw them in. Peter, who you got?
All the school bullies who used to pick on us back when we were kids, when being nerdy was not that great.
You mean when we were watching Power Rangers when we were 15?
And even younger. Okay. So, yeah, the ones who threw us in the lockers and all that wonderful stuff, you gave us wedgies. But now, hey, Geek is now in, and you're not. So, bye-bye, bullies.
Put them in. I want to throw our local health department in. Do you know that when elementary schools do their fall carnivals now, they're required to have food permits if they want to pass out pixie sticks and ring pops?
No way.
Yes. It's already prepackaged food, but now they're requiring they have to have permits for every booth, not just one for the whole school, but one for every booth. There are like 40 or 50 booths on these campuses. That's insane.
That's your local government at work, people.
So take them, put them in. All right, so you can also chime in on the Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO official. Taylor Wilson wants to throw in her last boss because he was a sexist creep. Okay, yeah. Put him in.
Hold on. We have to seek clarification.
No, it was not Trump.
Okay.
Put him in. Gary Carr wants to throw in negative coworkers, the guy who has a constantly negative attitude. He complains about having no money and then complains because the boss requires overtime.
Does he have no money while he's drinking a Starbucks cup?
Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Well, dude, you're at a job. Come on, you're
Put him
there.
in. And then this is kind of cool. Luis Martinez actually tagged 2 people and wants to throw them in, Nathaniel Larkin and Brett Georgia. I love it when we get in like little wars. People throw other people in. So take those 2 for 1, throw them in. Let's see here.
One more.
One more. Let's see here. One more. I got a little bit. Let's see.
Quickly.
All right, here we go. Billy Ross wants to throw in Cokehead Carrie Fisher.
She's a celebrity. We can't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we can do celebrities. All right, yeah,
okay,
good point.
move on.
We can throw in cokeheads in general.
Yeah, John McCormick from across the pond in England wants to throw in people who insist The Force Awakens was nothing but a remake of A New Hope.
I'm good with that.
Put them in. Woo! Man, this hour has zipped on by.
Woo!
Fastest hour on radio. All right, so check out our podcast here at 930amtheanswer.com is the home of the podcast. You can find us on Twitter at GYGO Official. You can also find us on Facebook.
I'm sorry, GYGO _official for
Twitter. Official for Twitter, GYGO Official for Facebook. Whew, man, next week, Jeremy Bullock will be our guest next week.
And our special thanks to Amy Jo Johnson for being our guest this week on Get Your Geek On.
All right, y'all have a good night. Stay geeky and get your geek on every single day.